Okay, maybe a lot of my videos have confused people. I probably skip over important information, assuming listener knowledge. So I'm actually going to break it down for you because I've learned how to do this new thing that probably a 5-year-old could do. So here we have an excerpt from Kathleen Richards' book, Under Their Roof, and it is about her time as a lodger at Cromwell Street. And can you see where it says the barrister asked her if she was a lodger? And she says, I was. Okay? Now we have the contemporary reporting of the time, and this was from the Daily Express on the 14th of October 1995, and it was during Rose West's trial. And Kathleen Richards is Kathleen Ryan, and she explains how her sister went to view a bedsit. Her sister was a lodger for a couple of months, and it says here that her sister took the bedsit, stayed there for a couple of months, and I used to stay with her 2 or 3 times a week. It was like 6 to 8 weeks, maybe more like 5 or 6 weeks from other information that I know. And then we have the article that was just released in the Times. It was an investigation by a journalist who was looking into the claims within the memoir. And he went to Kathleen for her comments on information that he'd found, because he'd looked at the court transcript, which was just a short piece of paper, because she didn't really say a lot in court. Pretty much what she said in court is what was in the papers. And this was her response. Kathleen Richards told the Times that her sister's account at the time was a deliberate attempt to downplay their involvement. Well, her sister is deceased, and this book that she released after she died, so she can't speak for herself, but her family have been really trying to. And then we come to a really sticky bit, because I was sent this by somebody else, and it was in response from the publisher, the ghostwriter, and sorry, not the publisher, the co-authors, Anne Cusack and Kathleen Richards. And it's quoted as them saying, Kathleen's book has been legal and fact-checked. She had a good reason for holding back at the West trial, which was discussed with Gloucester Police, and they were supportive of this. Now, I pointed this out before. If Kathleen Richards, or Ryan as she was back then, had been a lodger at the time that Shirley Robinson lived in the house and had all of the information, the vast amount of information about supposed abusive attacks towards her in her book, then she would have been the star witness. They would have loved her. So the idea that the police would have allowed her to hold back information it's not very likely. And then you got Kathleen's response to police involvement. And it was claimed that that Richards had discussed aspects of her evidence with police at the time and had been permitted to withhold certain details. Richards herself denied this when contacted by the Times, saying she had not been given permission to do so. Only, as you've seen, that quoted information that came from co-authors Kathleen Richards and Anne Cusack, that is exactly what they were saying. Now, where the information concerns what the co-authors have sent in response to somebody else asking questions about how it's come to be that the contents of the book are different to what is on record as trial evidence, witness testimony. I didn't receive that myself. I couldn't say definitely that message came from them because it wasn't sent to me, but I have very good reason to believe that it's genuine, based on the reason it came about. So yeah, I do think this is a police matter. Actually, I've spoken to an ex-police officer, someone that used to work in CID. They contacted us, and they have been seeing what we've been trying to do to get the situation sorted and highlighted, and they were disgusted too. So they think that this is a criminal matter, and I'm just hoping that this is shared enough. You know, this is serious. This is somebody defrauding the public. potentially implicating the police. We know what she said in the trial. I had it read out to me what it says on the transcript, and it's also in the contemporary reporting from the day that she was at court. And then there's what she said since and what she's put in the book. It's all different. Okay, none of it makes sense. There are likely scenarios and there are very unlikely ones, and it's the unlikely ones that have been printed for profit. So I'm going to do another post where actually you can see some video footage of Kathleen saying something completely different to what is on record in the trial.